You lucked out because I know Alex. He's talked to him a few times about if he's actually had a sighting yet, and he said he's never actually had a sighting. He just sees like the trace evidence. So sometimes it just takes that little bit to just keep it rolling, and sometimes it's just the weird times that things fall. Like I was talking to Michael a long time ago, Michael Freeman, about his dad's sighting, and he said that normally it was like he would go at the same time every day to try to find these things, and he just happened to be off one day because he had to like I think it was help his daughter with her car or something like that. And then he came in later, and because he came at like a weird time, he like caught these things off guard, and he actually was able to catch one on camera. So just lucky timing and weird timing seems to be like the key to actually catching these things. And if you're trying too hard to find them, like they're aware of you regularly being in an area, and then they just won't show themselves at the times they know you're going to be in the area.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm making a movie about John Green right now, and John Green is one of the the four horsemen of Sasquatchery, and that guy spent most of his life, at least the latter half of his life, looking for Sasquatch and never had a sighting. And when you look at some of the biggest names in the subject, they've never had a sighting. uh, Green, DeHinden, Krantz. I think Byrne claimed to have had one, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken, but at least Krantz and DeHinden, Green, none of those guys claimed a sighting. Um, so it's almost like, what the heck? Why did what did I do to 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 deserve one? At the same time, I had a sighting that lasted less than a second, and I find that I am less sure today than I was a year ago of what I saw. And so I almost wish I hadn't had a sighting, or if I did, that it would have been like a full blown face to face encounter that lasted for a little longer than a second, so I was far more sure of what I'd actually seen, because I just find that I really second guess the encounter the further from it I get.
I feel like that's the same kind of with anybody with any sighting because you just try to rationalize your head for a while, like with what happened to begin with. Like my sighting that I had with the Wendigo thing, like I didn't tell anybody about it for like 3, 4 years. And then I was finally talking about it on a show once, and somebody started connecting dots for me because I had no idea what I saw. And once the pieces started coming together, it kind of made sense. But it's like as time goes on, it's like you still question yourself even more. But at the same time, though, it's like it kind of gives you the drive to keep searching because if you're always searching and you're not finding anything, then it's like at some point you might just give up on it. But I mean, if you're finding trace evidence, I mean, that might still keep the drive alive. That's what seems to do for Alex because he's always finding trace evidence. But again, he still hasn't actually had his first eye sighting.
Yeah, yeah. If that's why you're in it, I'm not in it looking for trace evidence. Like when I when I go on a shoot or whatever, that's the last thought in my mind is I'm here to like have an encounter. It's just not in my mind. Maybe with On the Trail of Bigfoot, it's a little different, but with like right now